When did you start taking an independent role in your self-care?
Probably the age of 15. My mom kind of forced me to make my own appointments and call in my own medications. So it started really early, and I kind of went on from there. So I do that now, scheduling my own appointments and speaking with the doctor one-on-one. She doesn't even go in the office anymore. She just drops me off. And
Can you tell us, do you see a difference between your pediatric providers and now that you're in with adult health care?
well, I think the adult doctors that I'm seeing now, they expect you to know more about your disability. They're not going to hold your hand, and so you pretty much accept a bigger role in your health care.
So, I will say working in dialysis that our younger patients, let's say 18 to 23 range, are our most difficult patients. They are going through what all teenagers are going through at that time, trying to become an adult, being independent. But because they've had this chronic illness for so many years, a lot of them, have been very dependent on their parents, who may not have held them accountable for their own care or their own decisions. And so, they come to us where we're trying to make them more accountable and discussing the diet with them and your fluid restrictions and this is what you're not doing. And they're just like this, blank, and the dietitian might get very frustrated. And, I have to remind her that we have to remember where they are and where they're coming from. And they have not been used to having to take accountability for their own care. And it is very, very difficult. It's hard for them. So I do try to remind, and even our medical doctors sometimes, that, they're young, they're just not ready. They're not at that point, and sometimes I'll have that conversation with them, and I'll ask them, I'll tell them, I was at a time when I didn't do what I was supposed to do. There was a time in my life when I was that person, making up blood sugars because I didn't check it, and, all these things, and then my lab result would come back, and it's like, well, clearly your average is not 100 because your A1C is this, and I say, you have to get to the point where you're happy to go to the doctor because you want to review your labs because you know that you've done everything you were supposed to do, and it's not indicated here. So it's nice to go to the doctor because they're there to help you. And so once you know you've done what you were supposed to do, then you're ready to go to have someone help you. But when you're not, those are the patients that are reluctant to go to the doctor because they don't want to hear it, because they know that they have not been doing so well. So I just try and remind everybody that we have to meet them where they are and help them gently.